You're listening to The Forgotten Faction. This podcast is produced in affiliation with Dads of Destiny Westside, a clan of dads who value family, work, and destiny. Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 1 of The Forgotten Faction. My name is Zach Plays, and today I am here with System Glitch.
Hello.
I'm here with Doc Holiday.
How's it going?
H Discord.
Be there.
All right. We are going to have some fun today, guys. We're going to be talking about our wind down from D1, our thoughts on the beta, maybe talk a little bit about the Bungie weekly update, a few other community news updates, maybe some things from IGN, talk about the PC upcoming beta, those kinds of things. So I'm real excited to get started today. So with that, let's get this going.
You mean the TWAB?
Shh.
And Q song.
Okay, all right.
Anyways.
So this week we had, we're still playing through, because it's Saturday, playing through our very last weekend of Iron Banner. So with that on everybody's mind, I wanted to talk about, give me your top 5 favorite things that you did in Destiny 1. Top 5. So that goes all the way through Rise of Iron from day 1. What are your top 5 favorite things? Doc, go.
Oh, let's see. The top 5 favorite things that I've done. Well, first and foremost, I will honestly say one of the funnest things I have ever done was when you could cheese Atheon and just make him fall off that edge. Just a bunch of solar grenades. Just go. Just fall. It was easy.
I will say, I never raided in year 1, so I never experienced that, believe it or not.
Oh my God.
I missed out.
When we figured that out, it was the most hilarious thing ever. Because we had like 2 or 3 Sunsingers with us, and all of a sudden he's just like, wow, he's backing up. What? Where is he? Oh, awesome. Okay. It was hilarious. Probably everything else, the first time Xur actually showed up to the tower was absolutely amazing. Like we got the hints about it. We've got, we're like, okay, there's some dude named Xur, what's the deal with him? Where's he from? And then all you see is, Mr. Tentacles himself show up, and we're like, what is going on with this guy? There's something off. It's like, literally, it's like, okay, well, here's, your black market dealer showing up. What's he got this time? And just the fact that he disappeared and showed up in random areas of the tower and then the reef was absolutely amazing. It's little things like that Bungie does that just make it amazing. Everything else, like as far as my other top 3, raisins at Halloween. I will never forget the day when they're like, okay, you're gonna go trick-or-treating. Get candy from everybody else, and then you go up to Ariston Norn, and I was like, okay. I was like, she's not gonna give me candy. She just hates people. Box of raisins, here it came, and I was like, nice. Also, you got to also add on the fact that just the story in general. Everybody says and everybody harps on the story for Destiny 1. They have since vanilla, and they have even upwards of Rise of Iron. It got a lot better in Rise of Iron. But if you actually paid attention with the Grimoire and everything else that was being said and talked about, it's amazing. The actual story itself, if they would have put it inside the game instead of having you go outside of the game, I think a lot more people would have been more in tune with it, and that it would have made a better experience for a lot of people. But it is what it is on that aspect. And then,
is it just me, or would a kiosk, a Grimoire kiosk at the tower would have been amazing, right?
I think most people called for that, yes.
Yeah.
We have been asking for that literally since vanilla. And the fact that they never put it in, I don't know.
Disappointing.
It's disappointing, but I don't know if that was just a way to get people to do the research themselves, or if they wanted a more interactive community. Because let's face it, this community talked more about what this could what this specific item or this specific hint could have been more than I think I've seen in any other game.
I'll agree with you on that one.
And it really brought the community together. And I think that was either absolutely strategic planning on their part, or they got very lucky in the way that they wanted to do things. And either way, it worked out for a majority of the people that enjoy lore. And my last thing, that probably my favorite thing in Destiny, is probably honestly joining this clan. It is a completely new aspect that I wasn't expecting, wasn't even looking into. I was looking for a bunch of people to raid with. I was looking with a bunch of people for me and my girlfriend to actually, play with on a more casual and yet constant basis. And it completely changed the way I look at a lot of aspects of this game.
That's awesome. I like that. That's definitely something I'm sure we all have enjoyed. Discord. Let's give me your top 5, man. What do you got?
All right. So, beyond the story, I love the story for what they gave to us and we didn't have to read. And, beyond just what Destiny is, like, here are my favorites. Like, going to my first raid, first of all, it was hard enough just finding friends in game. And I know it's there, but, it was nice meeting up with one of my friends from work and just finding out, oh, we have this thing in common. And so, you know, when we banded together, he introduced me to his friends. Then finally, I got to go to that Vault of Glass raid that I saw had launched, but I had no one to go with, and I didn't want to just randomly find someone. So I would say my first raid in the Vault of Glass, that was one of my top, and that led to the not that particular raid. It took a couple tries, but the Galahorn. As soon as I got the Galahorn, yeah.
Wait. Did you get a Galahorn from
No,
doing?
not my first try.
No, but you got it from doing Vault of Glass.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh man, lucky son of a gun. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm sure we all have our Galahorn moment, but that was just one of those times when you felt really good when you see it pop on screen because you have the gun. But yeah, so finding friends, first raid Galahorn. Actually, even before that, let me rewind here. So before actually realizing that my coworker friend plays the game, I would say a weird sense of community was meeting up with people at the loot cave. I remember seeing like 3 or 4 people there. I'm like, yeah, we're all doing the same thing and we're going towards the same goal. We're shooting at a hole, but this is fun. So just dropping all those thralls and seeing those engrams. But other than that, there's so many things in the game. I would say I really vividly remember beating Crota was another top for me, because I just remember we tried and tried for maybe like 1 or 2 weeks because it took quite a while to get the Death Singer down. And once we got her down, we knew we had a shot. And, like, I remember no one wanted to pick up the sword, and hell, I didn't want to pick up the sword either. But I bit the bullet. I'm like, I'm gonna have to do this. So I got the sword, and then I just became the sword guy. Everyone went to me for the sword. That was just fun being needed for the sword. So those are a couple of my favorites. Obviously, the game progressed on past Crota, but those are my most vivid.
That's awesome. I'll get to mine in a bit, but those are some awesome moments there. System, give me your top 5, man.
Top 5 was my first raid, which was Vault of Glass, patrolling on Venus, and I just happened across that public area and came across a 5-man team trying to do Vault of Glass, and it was still early days, and I just started helping along and ended up getting into that raid. They invited me, and at that point, I didn't even know that raids existed in the game. Like, it was still pretty early into the game, and I hadn't even paid attention enough because I was just digging the story so much. And then suddenly I joined.
You liked the vanilla story.
I liked the vanilla story. I thought it was pretty cool. But that's, a big part of that is because of the stranger. And so I happened across this raid group going into Vault of Glass, and did Vault of Glass my very first time. It was probably, I had just gotten to a point where I could raid. It was still real early, and so I jumped in, did the raid with them, and got my Gallahorn, and I can't remember at this point, but I know I got Gallahorn, and I either got Vex or I got Icebreaker, all in the same raid.
Oh my gosh.
And so,
I hate you so
so
You're the people that make other people jealous.
yeah, I most of them cursed at me. Only one of them did I actually make a friend with for that lasted a really long time. That's probably one of my top, and a few others. Recently, I've just got my first Unbroken, which is a huge achievement for me. That was really, really awesome. Being an average PvP player, that was one of the best experiences and made me super happy. And really joining this clan for sure. I mean, granted that that's not really in game, but it is. I raided with a couple guys for almost a year, and we became really close. And now here I am in a clan and loving it. That's pretty much like I don't really have like 5 main things. Like it's very, very few things am I really, really proud of to do in this game, and that's probably the biggest 3 things.
That's awesome. That's man, you guys do so much rating. Sorry, very few of mine has anything to do with rating.
Yeah,
so I'll tell you, like day. So one of my favorite memories, like day one, a buddy of mine. I was still working at Best Buy. We had both bonded over Assassin's Creed, which is hilarious because we didn't get along at all until we figured out that each other were gamer nuts on PS4. And we found out we both like Assassin's Creed, and we started talking about Assassin's Creed and became great friends, which was hilarious. And then we found out about Destiny, and we both pre-ordered. He actually got the PS4 limited edition one, so he ended up selling his PS4 just a few days before to kind of offset the cost and everything. And when we went home, I was like, dude, you got to get on. We got to do this. And so we're both at home. He's setting up his PlayStation. I'm installing the game. And he sends me a text, and he's like, dude, the power cable where it connects in the back broke on the PlayStation. I went to plug it in, and one of the prongs broke.
What?
And I was like, oh my god, dude, because we've been talking for months about getting onto this game. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And he goes, yeah, I'm just kidding. I was so pissed at him. Like just the rise and the fall there, like right as we're about to get on. But yeah, playing Destiny for the first time was absolutely amazing. I have to say, obviously, my first flawless run was absolutely amazing. I had that took so much work, and it took quite a while. And I ended up just meeting a kid randomly in the Reef who was primarily a COD player, and he was like 16. And we picked up a squeaker who was like 12, and we just stomped our way all the way to Lighthouse. It was hilarious, and it was a blast to do that. I think so. Unlike you guys, my first raid was not Vault of Glass. It was Crota, because I didn't know what raids were. I take that back. I think I did try Vault of Glass once, and we couldn't even get the pillars built, and we all quit.
What? Wow.
Yeah, we couldn't even get that done.
I'm sorry.
And yeah, so we quit. So anyways, so I got a Vault of Glass, or a Crota's End run done. And that was fun, but then a buddy of mine who played on Xbox that I worked with showed me his video of him soloing it, and I decided I was going to solo it. So within about 2 weeks, I could solo Crota. So that first solo completion was probably there in that top 5, because that was some intense, like getting across that bridge, sorting across the bridge, and having an icebreaker, and oh man, it was intense. It was really intense. And that was a lot of fun. And unlike you guys, I did not get a Gallahorn quite a while. In fact, I didn't get a Gallahorn until House of Wolves.
Wow.
When House of Wolves launched, I went and played Prison of Elders for the first time. And when I completed Prison of Elders, the very first time I opened up the chest at the end, I got a Gallahorn. Obviously, I was super ecstatic. I was like, this is amazing. I'm super excited. So I was like, okay, I'm going to switch characters. I'm going to run it again, because you could only get the loot drop, if I remember correctly, once per character per week.
Mm-hmm.
So I switched characters, and I got another Gallahorn when I completed Prison of Elders. I thought the game was broken. I thought they were giving away a Gallahorn to everybody, because everybody wanted one. I thought they were giving one away to everybody on their first chest open in Prison of Elders with this new game mode. And so I was like, that's amazing. I'm going to go play it on my third. And I didn't get it on my third. And I realized I just got back-to-back Gallahorn drops from back-to-back chests for no good reason. I just wasted all of my RNG for the rest of this game on 2 back-to-back drops. It was ridiculous. But I didn't get one till all the way, and then that was a blast. I played with my brother-in-law and another friend every weekend for about 4 months. We played trials together, and we never went flawless. Just the team chemistry wasn't there. My buddy he wasn't that great, and he was improving over time, as was my brother-in-law. And I think my 8th flawless was when we went together as a group, and that took so much work. I mean, months on end of every single weekend. We're gonna go run a couple cards. Yeah, we're gonna go run a couple cards. Let's go. Every single weekend for months on end before we completed that. And that was a lot of work, but very, very rewarding. But I think my number one moment was right after my son was diagnosed with brain cancer. Rad set up during Iron Banner that the whole clan would all run with gold shaders, gold being the ribbon color for childhood cancer. And to see screenshot after screenshot after screenshot from the clan, Rad even put together a video of spawn down after spawn down after spawn down after spawn down of guys from the clan repping that gold shader. Was absolutely amazing to see. And it was huge to have that kind of support as we were going through that guys, even when they're sitting there playing a video game, they're going a little bit out of their way saying, hey, Zach, this is for you. That'd have to be my all-time favorite moment.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, that's
really cool.
That's a clan for you right there.
Yeah, that's more than a clan. That's a family.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
But anyways, now that I'm done with my sob story, let's let's move on to I think it's time we talk about the beta.
Yeah.
Well, before we start on the beta, I was gonna say we probably should stress that we are all, as far as I know, primarily PlayStation 4 players.
That is true.
Yes,
that is true. We are PS4. That is something very important to discuss. So I apologize to all of you Xbox players, but Xbox sucks. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't want to do that.
50%.
Some exclusives, baby.
No, I tried Xbox. I personally, I really like the Xbox Elite controller, and I'm kind of disappointed that I have to buy a Scuff if I want paddles. Is what it is. We all kind of joined together because we play on PlayStation. We're in the same clan on PS4, and that's just how we met. So, and that is through Activision's deal with Sony. That is the console to play on. You get all your early access. You get all of your exclusives. If you're going to be a content creator, you need to be on PlayStation. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is.
So I just realized my shirt's on inside out. Random.
All right. Random thoughts.
Sorry.
Of the Forgotten Faction.
The more you know.
Maybe that's why we are called the Forgotten Faction.
Oh,
all right.
Reasons out. Can we give out coffee?
Oh, I wish. Please, I need more. All right. So, with that in mind, we all played the PS4 beta, and I put my very extensive thoughts into a 13-minute video that I posted to YouTube. So I'm sure most people have probably not listened to that or watched that at all. So I'll recap that for you.
Nope.
Since
well, I was going to say
my YouTube channel.
I was going to say we could link it in the show notes.
It's true. No, for real though. I overall, I was happy with the beta, and let me preface this with I speed ran the strike. And I played the story missions once per character, and I think we got our top speed run down to like 11 minutes. I think the strike was great. I liked a lot of things about it. I think it was still a little bit more of D1, but I'll leave that to you guys because I'm not a big PvE guy.
I can say that on the exact opposite note, I spent with Viaris and Vivi Ultima, I think we spent a solid half hour in that strike just climbing walls.
Yes.
Just exploring.
Just looking. Well, because like there's a very, very big hint towards a vault of glass looking door.
Mhm.
And we tried everything to try to get it to open. I pushed Vivi off the cliff, maybe like as a sacrifice. I was like, you never know.
Is that the area you could glitch into, and then there's
Yeah,
a cylinder that goes basically into nothingness that if you fall down you die,
Oh
and
yeah.
there's a vault of glass looking door. Yeah, it looks like it'll probably be a mission at least, if not a strike. That'll be set up there. Well, let's have you guys go ahead and talk your thoughts on the PvE side of the Destiny beta.
I'll start. It's funny because I played it. I didn't play a lot of the PvE side of it. I thought it was good. It made me realize that it's definitely D2 is definitely going to be very team focused. You're not going to have some guy off doing a tiny little role. It's going to be very team focused. The boss felt a little bullet hosey, but not too bad. I did like the sectioned off areas of his health bar, so that you knew, like, okay, this section you're gonna be this part of the strike, and then you get down to this next section. Okay, this is this next part. This next section, his head comes off and he starts bum rushing you. And so you know the flow of that strike. You're like, okay, I'm getting close. We're getting going. We're okay. This next mechanic is coming up, and so it was kind of a good indication. I thought that was cool. The graphics were beautiful. They did a really good job in design. I absolutely loved it. I spent a few minutes on Nessus and explored, just checked things out, and I thought it was really cool. I loved the redesign, and like all the different. I would go up, kill something, go up and inspect it to see how the changes are and what they are. But primarily, I spent most of my time in PvP, and I absolutely loved it. I love the team aspect of it. If you're that loner guy in D1, you're gonna have a hard time adjusting in D2 because you need your teammates in D2. If you're not team shooting, you're dying.
Well, and that's why I
it's-
really respect the KD, like the KD tracker change, where it's not based on your KD, it's based on your efficiency, how you work with your team.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
This is something that's very polarizing within the community, because you have a lot of people who are two-man teams, or even solo PvP, PvP gods that are used to pulling double carries in trials, and they're coming into D2 and they're like, nothing works. Everything's so slow that it doesn't matter what I do. And I can understand that to a certain extent. And this is something I talked about in the video, and it feels to a certain extent almost like Bungie sucked the fun out of it. And I mean that in the best possible way. all of your one-hit kills are now limited to just during a super or power ammo. Which means getting your super and getting power ammo are now the two most important things. So now all of your focus has to be around those two things. Very, very often what I found was that if I was going to engage with someone else with me, if I brought a partner with me, we engaged somewhere, we were going to win. And that's great as long as there's somebody with you. But if you engage in someone with a 1v1, the time to kill is so long that you can't win. The other guy can back out no matter what. Like I was in so many 1v1s where I got the other guy got the jump on me bad, and I was just able to walk back around a corner because it takes so long to kill somebody. So personally, I think time to kill needs to be brought down a bit. maybe 15 to 20%, I think will make a big difference there. Like why, hand cannons right now are set up that it doesn't matter if you, it's all they're, unless you're super close, it's all 4-tap. And it doesn't matter whether it's body or headshot. So there's no advantage to actually having any accuracy with that weapon. Not to mention there's a lot of bloom going on, so your follow-up shots aren't terribly accurate. So there's a lot of different things there I think that can be adjusted to bring back a little bit of that fun. One of my friends actually canceled his pre-order after he played the beta.
Oh wow.
Yes, he
Because
did.
he just couldn't stand the PvP, and his point was that he didn't feel like his gameplay made a difference for his team. And that I can understand, because it used to be if you go in and you play a game of skirmish and you pull 25 kills, you stomped the other team. You can go into fours, pull 25 kills, or you're 20, even then 25 kills in there, 25 efficiency or whatever. Even if you account for that and you go to like 35, it doesn't really feel like it makes all that much of a difference.
But I also think that's what they were looking for, because
Right, exactly. And they're looking for more of a team play, and I completely understand that. But I think they balanced it. They're like, oh, everybody wants it to be balanced, right? Everybody wants it to be balanced. Nobody wants insta kills. Everything needs to be perfectly even so that everything is viable. But by making it so balanced, it made everything kind of a little bland, if that makes sense. There needs to be something a little bit of fire there. And granted, this is something I preferenced in the video. There are so many different variables that we didn't even get to try. We didn't get to try mods. Who knows what those weapons were? Those weapons could be garbage weapons compared to what your god tier PvP weapons are going to be in the game. We don't have exotics. We weren't dealing with a lot of the things that we're gonna see in the game were not available to us in that beta. Not to mention this was a month's old build, so they may have already fixed a lot of these things that we were talking about.
Yeah, they have addressed that. They did fix a lot of things that the community had pointed out. The ability recharge, and that brings me to a point. It's playing Iron Banner yesterday. I kept coming across one guy. Every time he would turn a corner, fusion nade. I'm like, dude, you're gonna have a bad time in a month because you won't be able to do that anymore.
I remember you yelling at him.
Yeah, every time I would turn the corner, I'm getting a fusion nade to the face, and I'm like, okay, you're gonna have a bad time. Like I love the primary gun gameplay, and I love the focus on it in D2. I think it's great. I agree, if you're not team shotting, you're gonna die. But also another key factor is if you're not hitting headshots, you're going to lose an engagement. If it's if it's a 1v1, if you're not hitting headshots, and I tested this quite extensively. I did a couple of games where I only hit body shots.
On purpose or on accident?
On purpose. I did it on purpose. And I lost every engagement I came across. And then another couple games, I did strictly headshots. And I would win every 1v1 engagement and even be able to get, a 1 down and then a 2 down and then get, a third person down half, and then somebody else would finish them off. And I was using an auto rifle and a scout rifle for the first couple days, and then I switched to a pulse. So I tried them all, and if you're not hitting headshots, you're losing.
Definitely, and that's another point. They punish it even more in D2 than they did in D1.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be all right, and I'm okay with that because that promotes that higher level of skill.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where you can go into the game, and if you're team shotting and you're moving as a group, it'll make up for a lack of skill and not hitting your headshots. And I think that may be part of why some people were so frustrated, is they could outskill their opponent and they can go in and headshot, but then they get team fired by two much lesser players that are just body shotting them and lose out. just because those two guys are sticking to each other's hips. And in what you used to previously have been able to, like, oh, I just would have downed that guy real quick, got back into cover, gotten a little health back up, and dealt with the second guy, you get absolutely screwed now. And that's not something that I don't think a lot of people were prepped for. And it was such a big change over D1. I think there was a lot of negative feedback from that.
I agree.
But I want to see, you know, the way I described it in my video is basically they turned Destiny 2 into a sci-fi Counter-Strike.
Well, and that's because they want that esports market. I mean,
Exactly. So here's the thing. It's more marketable.
Well,
exactly.
I would disagree with that. And actually, as a matter of fact, I believe John Wisniewski, I believe it was him, said something on Twitter about that yesterday. It's on their mind, but it's not something that they specifically are targeting. Now whether you know he's actually telling us the truth, it could be wrong, but you know he said it, and it's like it's something they thought about, and if the community wants that, then they're gonna make that. But that's not something that they're specifically going after.
Well, no, and the other thing that it is like you look at, and I'm just using Discord as an example. Like me in Discord, if like say in D1, if me in Discord see Zach plays on the opposing team, we're gonna look and go, okay, well, this is gonna be a tough match.
Yeah.
And in D1, legitimately, I'm not a huge PvP player. So if I look and see someone that's either known or I know that they're a really good player, I'm at that point looking at it as, okay, well, this is a loss. I'm going to take it as a loss and move on with my day. What that does in D2 though is say, okay, me and Discord are on. Okay, we see Zach on. We know that if we can get an engagement where it's me and him team shooting him, yeah, you might be able to outskill us, but we still have that chance now.
Yeah, 2 guns on one head in D2 is lethal.
And it actually helps out with it makes people want to actually stay in PvP more. Like you're going to see a lot less rage quitting. At least on more of like newcomers or a lot of people that don't get into the PvP aspect, because you still do have that chance.
Correct. And where that's frustrating to the high skill players is their high skill is no longer rewarded.
And that's completely understandable.
And but so here's the thing is it's not 100% their high skill is no longer rewarded. It's just a different kind of skill is now rewarded.
Mm-hmm.
And that's team skill. And that's where this is going to change. And that's where I think it's going to be a positive change, primarily because the guy that I know, I love him to death, but he canceled his pre-order. Guy's a bit of a prick from time to time. And he's got that kind of a big-headed attitude, just like I can have from time to time or all the time. But the mentality that I'm going to carry the team isn't really going to fly in D2. And you're going to see the people that are going to be successful are the people that are good team players. And that's a very different mentality than the PvP in D1. And I think that's why so many people have vocally been turned off by it, because it's just a different mentality that is successful in it. Not that it's necessarily bad. It's just that a lot of the people who are playing it currently don't have that. And your high skill teams aren't going to be those same players necessarily anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, and I think that's where you're going to see where, and I hate to use the term, but your MLG tryhards, unfortunately and fortunately in some aspects, are the ones that speak the loudest in the community. And I do not give it even within the first year that we are going to have a ranked play style that is very much catered to your solo really good players, because honestly, and I completely am okay with it, it's something that they deserve to have. I feel that it should be if they want the atmosphere where their skill is rewarded and they get to, show off and, be good at the game that they enjoy playing for the reasons they enjoy playing it, all more power to them. But if you're going to have somebody that goes in and is like, oh, well, I went into that rank match and I have no chance of winning, then you have an option. Like at that point, you have the option. Go into a quick play match. Go into a casual match. Don't go into the ranked matches if you don't want to have that experience. And
Exactly.
I would really hope that they, because that's something ranked actual lobbies is something that the community has been asking for a while, and I really hope that they actually, take that step. We don't have the old system, or we don't have the old systems. We're all, it's all new gen. Use that power and use that capability to give us the stuff that we've been asking for. Give us our extra blowout space. Give us our, our ranked matches, our private matches, and just allow the people to play how they want. And a lot of the people that are vocally at this point saying, well, I played the beta, I don't like the PvP. Yeah, they said they fixed a whole bunch of it, but you know what? I'm still gonna wait until I see it. So unfortunately, some of those people may never come back because of the bad taste that they got in the beta. But by catering to people that want those ranked and those hardcore, sweaty, and everything else type of matches, they're gonna see an influx in it again.
Well, and that's why a lot of people were pretty happy to hear that your matchmaking is still primarily based on connection, but skill is in that, and your skill matchmaking is affecting your competitive separately than your skill from quick play. So there's going to be that skill matchmaking slightly still, but it's not like a major factor. And then so that will help a lot of people. And once your skill gets better, you'll get better.
Definitely. And I think it's something that, again, we only played the beta, and there's only so much we can tell from the beta. There could be massive changes that we just don't know about yet. And part of me is a little frustrated that Bungie's not listing those out. Part of me understands why they wouldn't, because they don't want to necessarily give away all of the secrets about the upcoming game.
And that's another thing that I was gonna say earlier. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. I loved almost every single PvE aspect of the beta. I just wish there was more.
I'm sure there will be. I mean, I think we'll see more. I think, well, that's one of the reasons I'm also excited to see if there's anything hidden in the PC version, which I will be trying out. Which actually, that makes a good segue into the TWAB, or this week at Bungie. I want to talk about the past 2 weeks of news, because we got some pretty big details, particularly around the Destiny 2 PC beta, which is going to be early access on August 28th, open beta on August 29th, and the beta ends on the 31st, which is actually a lot shorter than the console beta was. So I'm interesting to see how that plays out. They finally in the TWAB, they listed out the minimum required specs as well as their recommended, and what they used at the Bungie event, which is really, really helpful. It turns out that my little $450 CyberPower Best Buy gaming desktop hits all the minimum specs. So if anybody's looking to get into that, you can pick one up at Best Buy. Includes a keyboard and mouse. You just need a monitor for $450. Not too shabby. But their minimum respect is a pretty old model Core i3 3250, and then an AMD or an AMD FX 4350, which is exactly what I have in my PC, and then a NVIDIA GTX 660 or an AMD 7850, which are 2 gig dedicated graphics cards, which is also what I have in my PC. So I'll let you guys know how it all runs. I'll probably upload a video or two to show you guys what that looks like, but I'll probably be upgrading because their recommended is an NVIDIA 1060 graphics card, which I think those run for about $250 right now, maybe $275. For those who are wondering about that.
See, I was actually very excited about that because when I was looking at the specs, I actually was looking at the specs before we jumped on, and I was very pleased to see that my gaming laptop can run it.
Nice.
Well, like I have the Predator. Love the thing to death. Cost me way too much money, but when I looked at it, I was like, ooh, okay. Now my other question is, how do you guys feel about Blizzard being the ones carrying Destiny?
I'm fine with that. I think it's going to be fine. I think they've got the best anti-cheating software in the biz, so I have no issues with that whatsoever.
Agreed.
Yeah, they have the best. They have the best track record with online and multiplayer and keeping
Oh
it,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
fair.
yeah. I'm perfectly fine with that. Granted, I'm not a huge PC gamer, so those of you who are, if you're listening and you have a differing opinion, please let us know. We'll see if other people disagree with us.
I've seen a couple things that like a lot of people are a little iffy on it. The only big complaint that I've seen is it's primarily from console players with the fact that you can use your WoW gold, I think it is, to buy Destiny, and that's really the only negative I've seen as of yet at least.
Okay, I don't know what that means, but
Well,
okay,
Is
essentially,
that
that's
yeah.
about
for real?
Oh yeah, like you can. Well, essentially, if you play World of Warcraft, I've got a couple of friends that were telling me you can earn gold in WoW. You can change it into like actual like Blizzard currency, I guess, and you can use that to buy Destiny.
So if you play enough WoW, you can get Destiny for free, is what you're saying.
But you have to play a lot of WoW and sell
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of stuff.
Okay, that's a justifiable complaint, which means power users or people playing a ton of WoW can get some freebies out of that, and I can understand how that might be, especially considering that it'll probably also work for in-game currency like
Exactly.
silver dust or whatever it is that we could get in D1. If there's some sort of an equivalent for that for D2, I could kind of understand. Oh well, hey, if you buy our other game that's not even related or made by the same studio, and you play that a lot, you can get free stuff over here. But that wouldn't be the first studio to do that, nor would that be the first time I've seen that done in a game.
Oh no, no, no.
So-
As long as they keep transactions to cosmetic only,
Exactly. I don't
it's
care.
fine.
Exactly. That's why I have no complaints about that, because it's exclusively for cosmetic issues. So we'll see how all that rolls out, and we'll talk about that more next week as it approaches, or actually 2 weeks from now, as we'll be right up on it in 2 weeks. The other thing I want to talk about, we got Cold Heart Exotic. Did anybody watch that trailer?
I did not get a chance to. I've been looking up at the
Not.
Cold Heart. Yeah, I've been looking up at the Cold Heart. Actually, right now I'm actually on the Bungie page looking at it, and it's it's gonna be fun.
It's a laser.
It's a laser
Very
beam.
interesting. Yeah, I want to see how that all works out. But that is a nice other little pre-order bonus. It's not that it would be exclusively a pre-order bonus, but it will become available to everybody. I think December 1st, they said.
5th.
December 5th,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Yeah, all pre-order bonuses for anything expire become available to everybody December 5th.
Which is a lot better than what was with the other exclusives that were on PlayStation.
Yeah, I think our maps
There's still one bonus map and one bonus strike on PlayStation.
and the gun. What is
And-
that?
and a gun.
Borhart or
Yeah.
Borealis? Borealis.
Borealis.
Poor-
Heart.
Sorry.
Freedom!
Yeah,
If
Borealis.
it's called Borhart, it better have tusks. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Moving on. In case you didn't, we already passed the deadline for the Age of Triumph.
Yes.
So I hope everybody was able to get their shirt. If not, sad day, because mine is awesome. And I hope you all who do have yours enjoy them. Let us know if you got yours. Send us a pic at DoD Westside on Twitter. We want to see what you guys got. This weekend, as we discussed right at the beginning of the episode, is the last weekend for Iron Banner. So hopefully, if you're listening to this, you got to play some. Or I don't know when we'll be posting this up, but if it's still Monday, you guys have a little bit of time to play it. Very last chance. We're running up. System, when did you say it was last weekend for trials?
August 11th is the last weekend for trials. So next weekend,
Next weekend.
for
So
us
Friday,
right now.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday next weekend. Okay.
Yes.
I may have to grind trials just to try to get to the lighthouse. I just want to see it. I just want to see it.
Maybe we can try a little something. It's going to be so try hard.
It's gonna be
so many people. In there. It's going to be ridiculous.
yeah, it's gonna be a lot of stack teams, I think, because it's the last one. Plus, you're gonna have your usual, your flawless guardians, those ones that are the flawless firewall, as I like to call them. They specifically
People
get
just keep playing to just knock people out.
yeah, keep playing just to continue knocking people out from their 9 wins, so that they cannot go to the lighthouse.
Yeah.
Well, and like that's my thing. It's like my big thing was I was kind of hoping. I highly doubt they'll do it. Just open it up, like at the end of D1, open up the lighthouse, so we can all just go there and take a look.
I know that's like everybody's dream for them to do that, but I having
Oh.
played and and no offense, having worked my way to get to the lighthouse,
Oh yeah,
I,
no, and
I wouldn't be happy about them opening that up to everyone.
Well, if they opened it up, no rewards. It's just being able to go to the map itself.
yeah, go to the
Yeah.
social space and explore.
I know. For those who like the lore, because there's some really cool things to explore around there. Like I understand.
Oh well, for me it's a double thing. Like I'm huge into Egyptian mythology, and love the Destiny lore. So like for me, it's just I would probably just sit there.
It's some pretty cool stuff they got going on there. I don't know. We'll see what they do, but maybe after it's all said and done, after they close down trials, they'll just make it another social space and a final update to the game. Wouldn't surprise me if they did something like that down the line. The only other thing that they talked about in this week at Bungie, they did announce a new PvP map, Javelin 4, that is exclusive to the PC beta. You're gonna be playing Control on that, so I will have some video of that I can post up, maybe even stream a little bit.
Do we have any?
Of
Do we
that.
have like a list of people in our clan that are actually going to be doing the PC beta?
I do not yet. I think we started a separate chat for it, but nobody ever uses it. So I'll see if I can drum up. Or actually, I take that back. We have a DoD Discord channel that's for the PC guys, and I think we've got 8 or 9 guys in there right now.
Ooh,
They're
that
chatting
reminds
about
me.
I'll actually have to join up on that.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. Outside of that, I think it gets us all up to date on the news for the last 2 weeks. But with that in mind, there was only one other thing I had planned on talking about, unless you guys have something else to talk about this week. I take that back. There's 2 other things because I just remembered something.
No, I'm good.
I'll be posting up some news and particularly a some sort of a graphic. I'm going to be hosting the last weekend in August, last Saturday in August, a 4v4 tournament, kind of a going out in style D1 tourney for all of those of you who want to get rid of all of the jitters from D1 and just like, okay, I never have to deal with this crap again. Please join us. We'll have some fun. I'll put out some forums so people can sign up, and I'm hoping to just kind of knock it all out in one day. We have 8 teams. It'll take us probably roughly 4 hours with the way it's set up. If we get more than that, it'll take longer. So could be an all-day thing. Who knows how many teams we get. But it should be a lot of fun. So come join us, hang out. It'll be streaming on Twitch. We're doing that kind of a thing. But then I wanted to ask you guys one final thing about D1. Give me your white whale, that one weapon or that one thing you've just never been able to do in D1. Doc, what do you got?
As much as everybody's going to be shocked to hear, I just need an icebreaker.
What?
Seriously?
How
I
have you
have-
not picked one of those up?
I have grinded for the past 3
It was
years.
available at Xur like 3 times.
Never, literally, just every time Xur had it, I was either out of state
Oh,
or like every time. Like I think one time I was in Maine, and I looked at the app, and I literally was just like,
Wait, hold. How many strange coins you got right now?
oh, a ton.
So then go to Xur. He's got legacy engrams, so you get a year 1 version. And have you not been doing the Nightfalls with the bounty lately? Like, come on,
Oh,
dude.
I have been. It just won't drop for me, and I've gotten literally everything else. Like my first, like literally, I got the Vex Mytho class like as one of my first exotic drops. I got my first exotic drop ever was a Hawk Moon. I'd had no issue getting like Galahorn, any of them. For whatever reason, that sniper rifle refuses to drop for me. Let me put it this way: my 6-year-old was playing at one of my friend's house, and I forget what they were doing, and she was just running around, and they completed something, and all I saw just go across the screen, icebreaker, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, my 6-year-old at this point has
man.
better LFG than I do. Or well, yeah.
RNG, yes.
RNG.
RNG just doesn't love you.
I have 0 sleep. Like I said, it's gonna be a long day.
It's all good, man. All good. Discord.
Yep.
What's your white whale, man? What do you got?
Let's see. Some things I haven't done would be the imprecation gun quest. I just never got around to.
Wait, so that's for your first curse?
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't have a first
Or is that
curse.
for the chaperone?
Yeah. No, I have the chaperone. I got that
Okay.
one with the SRL.
Okay. So it's the first. It's the one to get the first curse.
Yeah, first curse
It's
and
okay. You're not
probably
missing out on much. It's not a great
yeah,
weapon.
right. And then probably doing anything in trials. I've played trials. I would want to say 4 times, something around there. And I love PvP. I I main PvE, but as far as PvP goes, that doesn't feel fun to me. That feels more like work than fun. So I just stick to the normal stuff. So I never actually got to the lighthouse. And that
Well,
would,
that's a bummer.
yeah, those.
I've been trying. We got a few guys in the clan, like Doc. We got him to the lighthouse, and I think we who there was somebody else we worked on the other day, and I think we finally got him War. I think we got War with somebody so that he could get to the lighthouse.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's tough. It is a lot of work to do that. System, what's your white whale, man?
As far as things that I don't have control over, nothing. I have every I have it.
What do you have control over that you still don't have?
Same as Discord. Flawless. Best I've ever got is 7 wins. Actually, no, I'm sorry, 8 wins. And then I always get stomped. Just not good enough to get flawless, which is fine. 8 wins is good. I used to get my gear every week from this 5 and 7 wins. That's fine. And same first curse. Although now I could probably do it. I've gotten a lot better with a hand cannon now that I've switched over from a scout rifle. I'm not Mr. Campy McGee anymore.
That's right. Hand cannons for days.
And so I could probably get it now, but I just don't care enough at this point. We're almost exactly a month away from D2. I'm like, cool, another exotic, but I'm more than likely not going to use it. I've got a pretty decent pally that I really like, so I'm just going to stick with that.
All right, makes sense. Makes sense. No, for myself, it's the Vex Mythoclast. I still have not gotten one,
Wow.
Well,
and that's partly due to very little rating being done on that. But I have completed that raid 7 or 8 times.
9 to be exact.
9, and out of those times, every single completion, someone else has gotten a Vex, but
Yeah.
not me.
Yeah, you got to do it more than 9 times to get that thing.
That's not
Sad it is.
necessarily true.
Well, you're right. I got mine right real quick. But we'll have to work on your rating in D2. I think we'll have to work on that, dude.
Maybe. I guess.
Well, I think
Well-
did I miss the? Did we go over what we were thinking about planning for the off weeks? I had to step out for a minute, so I don't know if we've been over that or not yet.
For the off weeks, so you guys know we're not planning to record a podcast every single week. We're talking about every other week, at least to start and see how the interest is, and if the community builds, we can do more. If we all have the time, we'll be doing pretty regular streams via the DoD Westside Twitch. So that's DoD Westside on Twitch, and you'll find System, myself, Doc. Discord will all be on there. We'll have pretty regular events. We'll probably post a schedule up of what our nights will be like and what games we'll be playing. Because to be honest, we probably won't be exclusively playing Destiny. There are a few other games that exist in the world, not just Destiny. And I'm sure there are people who play Destiny, play other things like myself, play a little Call of Duty from time to time, play a little Overwatch from time to time, play a little Dying Light, although I hate zombies, so I never played at night. Play a little Assassin's Creed. I've got a few other games out there that I'll play.
Maybe that's something we should go over is other games that we play.
That's a great point. So I play Call of Duty, play Overwatch. I play this. Oh, what's that game called now? Rebel Galaxy. I'm telling you guys, it's an indie game that was free for a little while on the PlayStation Store. Rebel Galaxy, amazing game. It's like if you combined Star Wars with Firefly, and you play as Han Solo.
So you just got me hooked when you said Firefly.
Right, but you just fly around in space, and you have space battles, and you gun run or fight for the good guys sometimes. And there's all these constant side quests, and you get to constantly make upgrades to your ship or get a new ship. And oh my gosh, it's amazing. And it's got a great soundtrack too. It's got that Firefly feel to the
Ooh.
soundtrack. It's amazing. Sorry, that's my little rant on a $10 game. It's pretty awesome. I still play it. My wife and I play Towerfall sometimes. My wife's a huge classic gamer. If you guys haven't played Towerfall, it's like a 32-bit Super Smash Brothers where you can only jump on each other's heads or shoot each other with arrows.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing. $15 game, absolutely amazing. It's funny. It's very funny because that I put up a YouTube video of my wife and I playing the boss level and beating the boss in that game, and it has more YouTube hits than any of my videos. Is that stupid little game? I was so pissed about
Wow.
that when I saw that. Is that one's got like several hundred views, and I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. I was so pissed.
Nice.
But anyways, great game. But you know, your big AAA games, Destiny, Call of Duty, and Overwatch are probably the top three. And then I can mix in a few others if people are interested in seeing other gameplay or hanging out or wanting to chat about other ones. But I've got at this point, I don't know. Let me pull up time wasted on and see how much I've got wasted on Destiny because it's way too many hours these days. What are you guys at? Do you guys know?
We can look that up right in.
I think
in
I'm
PlayStation,
1400.
I'm at I'm at 1392.
Yeah.
right? I should be able to look that up right in PlayStation, right?
Pull it on
Wasted on Destiny.com.
Destiny.com. Yeah, and punch in your there. Okay, well, I thought I had fairly equal hours between my three characters, and it was only like 30% more on my hunter, but that's not true. So I've got about 400 hours on my warlock, 300 hours on my titan, and 750 hours on my hunter. So I guess I am a hunter main. That's just the truth of it.
I'll let you know right now. Hold on.
It's crazy. That's a crazy number of hours.
Wait, what did you? Well, I'm sorry. What did you say your total was?
1492 or 1392. Excuse me.
Okay.
1392. Yeah. Why? What do you got?
My total is 2373.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Wow. You have way too much time on your hands, system. Dude, you need to get a job or have a kid or something.
Oh.
Sheesh.
Dude, I've only got like 1,000, and that's between like the three
Hey,
different
system,
accounts I
so
played on.
with 1400 hours, I'm in the top 16%. With your 2300, where are you? Top 1?
I'm pretty up there. Yeah, top 3%.
Top 3?
Wow.
Yeah.
Not even top 1 with that many hours?
No.
Holy cow. People have way too much time with this game. That's amazing. But I think that shows how much the community loves this game.
Oh
if
my
I
God,
have
yeah.
if I have 1400 hours played and I'm only in the top 16%, like that means I play more than like 84% of the community, but that means there's still 14% that play more than I do.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Crazy.
System, what
I
games
got
do you play?
1400 hours. But anyways, yeah, what other games do you guys play?
The games that I play, well, Destiny, of course, obviously.
No kidding.
Right now, I'm currently playing Just Cause 3. Real fun game. Other games that I've played on a pretty regular basis, Diablo 3 on console. But mainly, if I'm not playing on console, there's a game on PC that I really love. It's called Factorio. And it's a cute little space game where you essentially build a giant factory on a planet. And the whole point is to be able to launch a rocket. And if you think that my 2300 hours on Destiny is bad, you can pour so much more into Factorio to build the perfect, most efficient factory to build everything and launch rockets on a consistent basis. Like, that is a game that will suck the life out of you. But that's pretty much it, what I play.
So you said Factorio?
Factorio, yeah.
Where do you get that? I'm gonna have to look that.
You can find it on Steam, or you can get it directly from them. It's technically still in beta early access, but they just did a major update and they are finally on the road to actually going to full launch. It's like $20. It's a great little game. Doesn't use a lot of. You can have a pretty basic computer and still run the game. It does have multiplayer. I mean, you can also host servers on it. There is a what you call like a swarm mode, because there is alien, what they call biters, So you got to fend them off because your factory creates pollution, which aggravates the aliens, and they come attack you. And you have to fight them off and keep them from destroying your factory. Great game, love it.
Nice.
Okay, I'm looking at that. That looks interesting. So I've been playing a little bit this other one that's kind of similar, called the Kerbal Space Program.
Mm-hmm.
It's also available from Steam for about $20. It's a full release though already, and it's a little more of a 3D style game, where you can go into just kind of like unlimited build mode, or you can actually build your own space program.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the math behind it is exact. So you actually like build your rocket, all the weights taken into account for your fuel, and then you custom build this, and then stick a little Kerbal, with a little humanoid style alien character into it, launch them into space. You have to do retro firing of rockets to put them in the right orbit, and then you can adjust the orbit. You can send them to other planets. You can build a space station. You have to dock them all. You can do all that kind of stuff. It's actually a great learning tool for kids for learning. It's literally rocket science. That's another good one that I've been having a lot of fun with.
That's pretty neat. I'm gonna check that out.
But anyways, who hasn't told us what other games they're playing yet? Is that Discord? Have you talked about what other games you're playing yet?
No. So
What we got?
lately I've been playing major titles like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch, Breath of the Wild, Zelda. Another kind of indie one that broke out on Steam and then went popular was The Binding of Isaac, Afterbirth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They actually made it free on PlayStation for a little while.
Yeah, it was free on PlayStation, and then I was amazed when I saw it was almost one of the launch titles for the Switch. It's one of those games that's it's a random dungeon crawler, top down 2D, almost like old school Zelda. And there's I think over 300 or more items you can pick up in the game, which is random every time. So every run you have is not going to be the same. So it's really fun. The premise is kind of messed up, but it's fun.
I've looked at that. It is pretty messed up.
Yeah,
Definitely not a game you
I
wanna play
played
with
like
a
the
kid.
first 20 minutes, and I was just like, that's really messed up.
yeah, it's like a mature dungeon crawler.
Yeah.
But other than that, Final Fantasy 15, and I have waiting for me to play The Last Guardian. I still have that to play. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, I love that studio's work. I always loved the what was it, the Shadow of the Colossus and
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Ico. So
All good games.
Let's
All
see.
right, guys. So with that in mind, let's get our little house cleaning out of the way. So Doc, where can we find you on Twitter, your gamer tag, all that kind of stuff? Where can we find you?
Well, on PlayStation, you can find me at Doc Holiday. O's are zeros, I is a 1, 2 I's at the end. Terrible. Just link it in the show notes. It's
Okay.
um,
Are you on Twitter?
I am. You'll find me by just searching up, like I said, my gamer tag, Doc Holiday.
Cool.
Very simple. And then I'm on a whole list of the Discords for the Destiny community, primarily the lore ones. You'll find me on
List those out. Where are you? Because I don't even know where those are.
Focus Fire Chat and Rabbit Hole Radio. You
Rabbit
can find
Hole
me
Radio.
there.
That's a new one. I haven't heard about
Oh,
that one. I'll have to look them up.
Oh yeah, they go deep dive, a lot into Spinfoil, which is really interesting.
Okay.
It's very hilarious.
I like Spinfoil. Okay.
But yeah, find me anywhere on those. Usually kicking around somewhere, or you can like I said, just find me on PSN. I'm usually always on. Usually hanging out with the wife, playing Destiny, ESO, whole list of other games.
Awesome. And Discord, where can we find you?
Nowhere. No, you can.
Do you not have a Twitter Discord?
Not one that anyone would want to follow because I can't remember the last time I posted on it. So I'm just gonna say you can find me on PSN H Discord.
Okay, we'll work on getting your social media presence up over the next few weeks.
Oh, I gotta be social.
Just a little bit. System. Where can we find you, man?
You can find me on PSN, System Glitch 86. Twitter is System Glitch _ now. It matches my Twitch. It's System Glitch _
Okay, awesome. And then if you guys are looking for me, I'm Zach Plays, ZACKPLAYS. And then you can find me, that's my PSN, and you can find me on Twitter at Zach Plays PSN, because apparently Zach Plays was already taken on Twitter. My Twitch is Z Southpaw, ZSOUTHPAW. There may be some past broadcasts up there that still have some of my Tuesday Trials training series, but I've also been streaming that on the actual official DoD channel. That's the Dads of Destiny Twitch. I stream on there on Tuesdays. Primarily, you will find us at DoD Westside on Twitter, and on Twitch we are the DoD Westside Twitch channel. That is, we'll all be on there. We'll be posting a schedule. We'll be getting something going. We'll be doing some raids. We'll be doing some PvP, doing some maybe some speed runs of some kind. And of course, we always want to play with you guys. So please come find us. We have some fun. And with that, is there anything else you guys want to talk about today?
Not that I can think of.
No, that's pretty
I mean,
good.
Okay.
Definitely would say, you know, if you guys are looking for a good clan, definitely come check us out.
Definitely. Only if you're on PS4, though. You Xbox
Yes.
guys, I'm sorry. You're SOL. We don't have anything for you right now.
No
If
love.
who knows? Who knows?
We should also
Brad will go crazy and create one over there.
we
But,
should also stress we're not only guys now.
That's right. We do have what is it? The women of West Side,
Heroines of West Side Heroines.
West Side Heroines. That's what it was. Because we definitely want to sound like drug addicts. So, which I'm allowed to say that. Okay, I am. My last name is Stoner, so
Yeah,
You know,
has
I've
mentioned
always
something
allowed
else,
to
though.
say that.
I've always wondered about that, but now that you have clarified, it's all good. I'm like,
All right,
hilarious.
guys. So with that, I think we're gonna call it an episode, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Cue music.
If you're interested in becoming a member, visit us at dodwestside.com or follow us on Twitter at dodwestside.